humor and language and even food, but all of it somehow forms, I think, a contemporary Litvak identity in the United States. So in the United States, most people would think of a Litvak as somebody of Jewish heritage from historical or contemporary Lithuania. And as you heard, the contemporary boundaries of Lithuania, that geography doesn't really line up exactly in terms of identity. The Litvak likely has Lithuanian or Latvian roots, but they could be Polish or Belarusian or Russian geographically. National boundaries not as meaningful to self-definition among Jews living in this pale of settlement. Of course, the two towns important in my family's history, other than Kaunas, Volozhin and Brest-Litovsk, are presently in Belarus. And Volozhin, as I mentioned, is near Minsk. Brest-Litovsk is on the border with Poland. So the Litvak is often defined, and you heard this in Professor Polanski's talk, the Litvak is often defined in opposition to who is not a Litvak. And in Eastern European Jewish culture, the Litvak is often thought to be not a Galicianer, not somebody from the south, although there may be little differences genetically between them. You could almost think of Litvaks as northerners and Galicianers as southerners. Litvaks generally hail from cities in Lithuania, Vilnius, Kaunas being most important. Also some cities in Latvia, also Belarus, cities like Grodno. Galicianers more likely from southern Poland, Krakow, as you've heard. Maybe northwest Ukraine, like Lviv, maybe even parts of Austria. And both groups distinguish themselves from German Jews and Romanian Jews, as you heard. There's slang words in Yiddish to describe German Jews that are somewhat derogatory. I think a lot of that is about class, social class. The German Jews were often of the middle class or even wealthier. They were more likely to be assimilated. And their distinctiveness in pre-war Europe, but even in Israel today, might be more due to those socioeconomic differences than anything else. So of Yiddish-speaking Jews in Eastern Europe before World War II, maybe 1 in 6 would call themselves a Litvak, maybe more, depending on the definition. Now I'm going to suggest that some of the characteristics of Litvak identity derive from fundamental differences in their approach to Judaism, established through ritual and prayer, and especially the study of Torah in the 18th century. So the Vilna Gaon, as you heard, the most important scholar in Litvak Jewish history, and his disciples, like Chaim Volozhin, my fifth grandfather, thought of themselves as opponents of Hasidism. They were opponents of Hasidism. And Hasidism was more popular outside of Greater Lithuania, particularly in Poland. And these Litvaks believed that a careful and close reading of Torah and Talmud would reveal the intentions of God. The Hasidic movement in places like southern Poland and Hungary, much more accepting of miracles, of revelations, of seeing God in nature, and not just through the study of Torah. Litvaks cherished careful, painstaking study of Scripture, word-by-word analysis. Hasidim at the time were more likely to find holiness through music and dance